All right, so I'm here with Zach, which is a student that's going through the Developer Pro program, and he's here to share his experience, what he learned from me, what he was doing before, like how are things going for him. So Zach, what's up, bro?
Hey bro, how's it going?
Good.
So I've been in the Christian's program for like just over 2 months or almost 2 months now.
2 months, yeah.
Um, and so before I joined the program, basically I was just trying to learn on my own. I was going through like Code Academy. I was doing some other website that was teaching me stuff and
Greenbow?
Scrimba, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even know what I didn't know. So I learned HTML, I learned CSS, I learned a bit of JavaScript, but I still had like no real direction, I guess.
And
Still felt
when we first talked, like the first time, right?
yeah.
When I tried to convince you, like what were you expecting to happen? First of all, I'll run with your money, go to Vegas, put everything on black, and then hope to win, right? That was the first.
Yeah,
Second thing,
yeah. I mean, I saw your YouTube videos and stuff, so I wasn't really even before I joined the call, I wasn't sure what to expect, you know.
mhm.
But I'm glad you convinced me to do it because now that I joined the program, I know that I probably couldn't get this far this fast without joining the program.
Right.
Um, you know what I mean? So like it was even that like you had to convince me to join it, but um, I didn't even I was completely lost. Like I didn't even know what I was doing. So
And
it's easier to see from your perspective because you train people all the time, right?
yeah, and the funny thing is that you are like a smart guy, you know, like you progress really quick. When you started, you knew some JavaScript, right?
I knew a
So
bit of JavaScript. Yeah.
you know, like functions, arrays, all that good stuff. But have you ever tried to learn React? Because right now you are about to finish with the main React projects. Like, what was the situation back then when you were learning JavaScript?
So I was just doing like code wars every day. And even though I was doing the code wars, it didn't really teach me like how to use what I was learning.
Mm-hmm.
So like I knew a bit of like how to use map and filter and stuff like that. But when I joined your program, you like manipulating the DOM was like one of the biggest things I learned. Like that was huge. Um, and even before learning JavaScript, I learned HTML and CSS.
I remember
But
you jumped straight into it,
yeah,
and I'm like,
but
wrong, 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 wrong.
yeah, exactly. Because when I looked at YouTube videos and stuff, they're like, spend like, a week on HTML, CSS, and then you're good. And then you can just start learning JavaScript. And then when I joined your program, you're like, this sucks. Like, where did you learn how to do this? And because I already thought like I knew, but then I had to restart again, go from the beginning, and then I realized I was like, oh yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing with HTML and CSS even. So my JavaScript was ahead of my HTML and CSS. But
It's a good thing, to be honest.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not a bad thing to be better at JavaScript than HTML and CSS, to be honest. Because you can get HTML and CSS down in like a month if you are about it, to be honest. Um, so then you are doing a bunch of code wars, which I was also doing myself. That was my coping mechanism. Like I don't know what to do with JavaScript, so I'm gonna do a bunch of code wars.
yeah.
You know?
But I didn't know how to use it. Like there was a couple of times where I'd open up like VS Code and then start trying to make something, and I'm like, I don't even know how to start or like how to use this. So
Right. So the main thing for you was the fact that I was telling you do this and this and
yeah,
this.
exactly. Yeah,
Right. That's like a big one. Like for example, anyone can figure out how to write code if you know what problem you actually have to solve, right? Because I just had this idea. Like you don't go to Google just to look at Google. You go to Google to ask a question, right? It's
yeah,
the same
exactly.
thing. Like you write code to solve a problem, but if you don't know what problem you want to solve, then the
Yeah,
whole writing code premise is like useless, you know?
exactly. It's like what question do you need to know the question to ask, right? You
Yeah,
need to know the
exactly.
project to make.
Exactly. And what so right now you've just almost finished the React, the weather app, right? which is
Yeah.
the app that I always say, hey, don't make the weather app, but what I'm actually saying, don't put it in your resume. What have you, like, what was the transition for you from JavaScript to React? Was it smooth? Did React make sense to you? The benefits of that?
So right away I saw the benefits with working with components, where you can like reuse them and just made that. One thing I did have trouble with was kind of like grasping the concept of state and be able to move state from component to component. I think I did have trouble with that.
Yeah.
But all in all, React is way easier. Like I'm worried that it'll become so easy that I forget, vanilla JavaScript. But
Well, to be honest, like when I got my first job, I knew more React than JavaScript. And the moment when I learned React really well was when I started teaching people Java. And the moment I learned JavaScript really well was when I started teaching people JavaScript, because I was like,
yeah,
okay, I do this in React, but how can I make this same thing in JavaScript? And probably you saw that the way you do the to-do app with the data and all that stuff
yeah.
went quite smooth into what you do with React.
Oh yeah, for sure. Transferring data to different components is way easier, like than transferring data in JavaScript, I feel like. Yeah, just reusing components and stuff like. Yeah, the state was just the biggest thing for me. That was the most difficult thing. But what have I been doing React now for like a week, just over a week, maybe 2 weeks, and I
Two
think I've
weeks.
progressed. Yeah, I've got it down pretty good now as far as lifting state and stuff like that.
Yeah, like what you're saying for like some people that might sound like, oh, this guy is crazy or something like that, because they did like 2 weeks of JavaScript, their advanced level, in their Udemy course,
Oh
and
yeah.
they've tried React as well. And they're like, oh, I don't get it. And the reason why do you think those people might struggle with React if they just
Well,
went straight into it? Like, what's
it's
the
because
mean?
they don't have a. I don't think they don't have a good foundation in JavaScript. Like even 2 weeks is, I don't think is enough, right? To be
Yeah.
at an advanced level in 2 weeks, I don't think that's enough, right?
I think you can do it if you're a freak, but most
Yeah.
people are not freaks, so it takes some time. And what about the feedback, the daily feedback that I give you?
No, it's good. It's actually funny. Like, sometimes I just overcomplicate things. And I could see you like, what the heck are you doing, man? Like, and yeah, I could. It's good though. Like, I like the roasting, and there's no like, um, it's important to have like straightforward feedback rather than someone just telling you, oh no, that's good, man. Like you're doing a good job when you're not.
I remember not the last one, but the last two. The previous,
Yeah, it was like
like the
React
second and the
8 and
third
9.
one. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck have you done here, bro? Like, you completely made a new type of framework out of React. Uh, but that's fine, that's how you learn, by messing it up. And I guess right now, like looking forward to, you need to finish the weather app, the crypto app, and then you need to join the team project. Like, how do you
Yeah.
see the process unfolding for you, uh, knowing what you know right now?
Yeah, I mean, just completing the weather app. I'm working on that right now. The crypto app is going to take me a while, and that's good. It's going to be like my first, full app, um, something I can put in my portfolio and be proud of. And I feel like I could almost find a job off that, right? It's not going to get me. It's not going to get me there like 100%. Like I think joining the team group and having the team aspect of it is going to be really important for finding a job.
Mhm.
As far as skills go, I think after building that crypto app, it'll really, solidify it.
Yeah, so like right now, what we do, I don't know if you missed it or not, but the crypto app used to be the thing that we are using to get jobs. It still works, but with the team project, you'll get the extra 5 to 10%, which is going to make the difference right now.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the team project is still a crypto app, but it's more complex.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that because you have like the crypto app, and I wasn't sure. Are you making like a separate app completely?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably you're not in the team calls, because we have separate calls for that. And we have the designs. By the way, like you guys can find those in the description of this video. We have the designs, but we are adding extra features. So right now, what we can do is we can buy coins from Uniswap. So we've added that feature, and now we are integrating multiple APIs. So right now we are using CoinGecko, but we want to integrate CoinMarketCap as well, so you can compare multiple types of data. We also want to compare like ideas, like whoever is watching this can get ideas and see if they can do it. We also want to do, I've noticed that people, when they want to predict the price of Bitcoin, they are watching the interest rates stuff going up or down, and then they watch the inflation price, like percentage going up or down, and then we want to put like a chart with all those lines together, because right now they have to go like to 3 websites. So we are pretty much trying to make the go-to app for anyone that's interested in trading crypto and whatnot, watching whales, watching news about crypto, like all that stuff is going to be added.
That's super cool. And it's like, it's almost like a mini company, right? That you're getting that
We
experience.
have a
working,
LinkedIn profile, bro. We have LinkedIn
Yeah.
profile. We're gonna make a Twitter as well. My girlfriend is already hired at my company. I have another guy, which is CFO. I'm gonna have a sales guy in there. I mean, you saw, you already
Yeah,
part, but it's
that's
gonna be
crazy.
like totally legit, which is the name of the company as
Yeah.
well.
No, I think that's super cool. That's super cool.
Yeah,
And
because I was
one
thinking
thing,
like, how can I make it us pain free? Obviously it's gonna be hard, right? Like whoever's
Yeah.
watching this, they need to understand that this is not a walk in the park, so no Bambis can do this, but there are a few things that you can improve, you know.
Yeah, and that's a huge benefit of this program, right? Like, I don't know anyone else doing that, right? It's a really good idea. And even like as a student or as like a client, I get the experience of, before actually getting a job, I get the experience of being in like a mini job or a mini group of people working at like a small startup type of thing. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like.
That's exactly the point. And right now, I know we are supposed to talk about you, but Basil, which was on the channel like 2 weeks ago, he had 2 interviews today. He passed both of them because of his GitHub activity. You're not there yet, so like next week you'll start doing that. But people looked into his GitHub and they saw that he's using PRs and someone else is checking his code and whatnot. And just because of that, his chances like went through the roof, because juniors don't do that. They just use Dropbox. With Codecademy, right? You've had to set up Git from the beginning, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they do that, but I skipped that part because I
Pretty
didn't
useful.
find it useful. Yeah.
Yeah, so probably you notice that whenever I give you something, it's because you actually need it. So you learned React whenever you needed it, rather than learn it for the sake of learning it.
Yeah, I think that's important too, because like if you start learning ahead, then you'll just forget it by the time you need it. So where you get it like, okay, you're doing this program or this app and you need to learn this. So then you just give like, like 5, 6 videos of like things you need to learn. And then right after that, you build it straight away instead of learning ahead and then going back to try and remember all the things you've learned. No, it's really good that way.
Mm-hmm. And do you like the calls, the calls that we have? I know you haven't been on for the past couple of weeks, I think, because of your work. But besides that, what do you think about the calls?
Yeah, the calls are really good. I want to join more calls, but just work gets in the way. But like even today, I had a couple questions about the weather app, and you answered it before I could even get to them because there was another person in the call who had the same questions. So, and you start like, even when I was there in the beginning, I was watching what people more advanced than me were asking questions on, and like what they're working on, and you just get like a broader like vision of like what's happening, and you just learn a lot in the calls because people are gonna have the same questions, people are gonna have different questions, and then you go through different scenarios. It's really good.
And like what I do, I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm not giving you all the information in the course just for the sake of making you stuck. So you can ask
Yeah.
me the questions so I can give you the answer.
Yeah.
Especially right now. Yeah.
I think that's good too, because I haven't been able to join as many calls. So sometimes I haven't been able to, I just don't ask all my questions. But I think it's good because like a lot of times I hear coders are like problem solvers first and then coders second, where you need to learn those problem solving skills. So I think that's also really important.
What like for example with the weather app, there is one specific concept, which is component update, which I'm kind of hiding. I'm not talking about it because I remember when I was learning from my Udemy course years ago, I've learned about that concept, but I never got it. And then in my job, I had one problem that you'll also have in the weather app. And that's when I had to do my research to find out about the concept. And that's when the concept clicked. So right now it's kind of hidden from you. Probably I kind of spoiled it right now. But you'll be like, okay, how do I do this? Why is this thing not changing?
Yeah, I'm like having a kind of an issue right now where I click on something, the URL changes, but
That's the problem.
page just
That's the problem. Yeah, that's the
okay,
yeah, component is update. That's the answer.
that makes sense. Yeah.
So there you go. You see, problem
Yeah.
solved in real time. Cool, man. So who who do you think is gonna benefit from this program, or like, yeah, let's start with that.
Well, me, for example, I can speak to like my own. So I work full time, 5 days a week. I have a full-time job. And so I don't have time to, I really wanted to fast track it or like, you know, I don't want to learn useless things that I don't need and just spend all my time spinning my wheels type of thing. So a full-time job, I'm busy all the time. And I just wanted like direction and I know what I'm learning is directly related to like the field I want to get into, the job I want to get. So I think that's super important. Just
Right.
having a clear roadmap.
Someone that wants to be more efficient with their time.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. And why do you think someone shouldn't join this program, right? Because I don't want the base here.
You shouldn't join it. I mean, if you're not going to put in the work, if you're not, it's hard to say who shouldn't join it. You got to work hard though. And you got to want it. I feel like you can't just not put in the work, not want it, and just.
How many
I think
hours? How many hours do you work per week in this program?
In this program, I try and do at least 2 hours a day at least. It's more like 3 hours a day on average. So I'd say like 16 hours a week, maybe.
Okay.
Something roughly.
And before the program, same thing?
I was a little bit less, mostly because I was discouraged because like I didn't really know what I was supposed to learn and stuff. So I'd say maybe hour to 2 hours a day. And getting this program really motivated me to just put
It
everything
hurts a
aside
bit,
and just
right? It hurts
focus.
a bit. I'm like, fuck, I need to do something. It's like serious, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And like, do you feel like you have the same output from those hours compared with what you were doing before?
Oh, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. Like triple, quadruple the amount of output I'm getting through this program than I was before. Just what I learned in a month on my own, I've learned in like a week in this program. It's way different.
Yeah. Thanks, bro. You see,
No,
like,
seriously, I'm not even
I'm
trying to
not,
like hype you up.
I actually told you
I,
don't hype out if there's no need.
yeah.
It's like, it's so simple, bro. But like, people think, oh, this guy is from YouTube. What does he know? Blah, 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 you know. But it's like super simple. Like, you have a roadmap. I've tested that roadmap on so many people. I know it works. You have a problem. I unstuck you. You do something, I'm gonna roast you.
Yeah.
As long as you don't give up, I'm gonna work with you. It's as simple as that. And this program is until you get paid, until you get hired. So no matter how long it takes, we'll work together. And if something doesn't work anymore, I'm gonna fix it because my interest is to get people hired, at the end of the day. That's why I added this team project, even though it's like it's more effort from my side. I think it's gonna pay off dividends, in terms of like the success rate, you know.
Yeah, and you have lots of clients to prove that as well. Like I feel confident that at the end of this, I'm gonna get a job. Where if I'm working on my own, I don't know if I'm gonna get a job or not, right? I don't have that confidence. But having someone who knows the industry and having clients who've, gone through it and gotten jobs, and you're here until I get a job, like it just, yeah, the confidence is a lot
It
more.
is the pain as well, right?
Yeah.
I was the same. I was willing to do anything, I remember, but it was just, am I going in the right direction? Because you can be in the wrong boat, you can like row as hard as you want, but if you're in a yacht, you're gonna get wherever you want to get, much nicer condition, with no sweat. Probably you won't be dehydrated by the end of the trip, and you
Yeah.
can sip from a coconut, so that's
And then you have the confidence in interviews as well, like and if you're learning by yourself in an interview, do you know that you have all the skills that you need? Where someone who's been a developer in the program, like you've been in the industry, you know what they're looking for, you know what skills you need to land jobs, right? So it's a big confidence boost.
makes it easier. Cool, bro. That's pretty much it. If you want to add anything else to this, that's good. If not,
No, I think that's good. Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. If you want the same treatment and if you want to crush it at code, link in the description. Let's have a chat. Let's see if we can work together. Peace.